Hi, everyone, and welcome to today's podcast, hosted by myself, Dr. Karina Minardi, bringing you all things STEM. For my journey to yours, we are on an adventure. Today, we are so fortunate to be joined by Samuel Oyefusi from Nigeria. So let's welcome to the stage, Samuel. Hey, Samuel, how's it going?
It's going fine. It's nice to be here, Karina.
Yeah, we're so grateful to have you from the other end of the world. So
Thank you.
Samuel Oyefusi is a mechanical engineering student at Pan Atlantic University. He's the ex-president of the Living Green Club, and he's the co-founder of Ridebuddy and global ambassador of Thierworld. He has a passion for the Sustainable Development Goals, or SDGs, which drives his focus on energy transition and robotics innovation, alongside advocacy for quality education. With a knack for research, analysis, and strategic planning, he utilizes his experience and expertise in innovation and sustainable development to foster positive change across Africa. As a community leader, he mentors the youth close to him with the aim to inspire a new generation of innovators dedicated to creating a brighter future for the continent. He hopes that by working to achieve his dreams, he can inspire others to achieve theirs as well. He is currently engaged in a groundbreaking project involving a smart irrigation system for farming and an agrobot equipped with computer vision and AI for precise farm navigation, crop yield estimation, weed detection, and removal. And with that, we are just so excited to have you on today. Our first question that we always tend to ask our guests is your bio is great, but we want to learn a little bit more about you, what drives you as a person. And so tell us a little bit more.
Thank you, Karina. My name is Samuel, and I'm a final year student at the School of Science and Technology, Pan Atlantic University, Lagos, Nigeria. Ever since I was small, I always loved to solve problems, especially complex problems, trying to find solutions to solving challenges currently. And there are so many challenges facing Africa and also Nigeria, especially, the manufacturing sector. And that sort of, it gives me that dream and aspiration to be where I am today. And that's why I really want to contribute to the manufacturing sector by, providing solutions and trying to create, digital, solutions in the field of robotics, in the AI sector as well, to see how to drive a change and also to try to inspire people in the community that are looking forward to becoming somebody like me. Yeah.
So what are the attributes that you think that you have which make you a contributor to this space?
All right. So the biggest thing I would say is resilience. I feel like I am very resilient. Like I don't take no. I always want to get yes, and I really want to get my stuff done. I take on complex tasks and I try to see how to create solutions, try to be innovative. And one of the biggest skills I've developed through this journey has been the skill of research, the ability to go deep, and the ability to collaborate in teams, the ability to do extensive research and to consult with PhD lecturers and to try to sort of get solutions in solving problems. So I would say resilience, and apart from resilience, teamwork and leadership. So I've led so many projects, and leadership has really trained me to become a good contributor to the sector, the manufacturing sector, and also um, to the personal development sector in my school. So I love to lead teams. I love to see things working. I love when students can come together, try to work together and achieve something. I just like when things work, and I love when people work in teams, and we have a project plan, we come together and we achieve it together. That's has always been my biggest skills I've always applied.
No, I can appreciate that, and it's something that I can also appreciate is because there are those skills that are innate to people,
Yeah,
um, and then there are those skills that are innate to you, but maybe you need a couple of scenarios to really bring them up. I
yeah,
think, or opportunities to express them, like leadership. I know I did not necessarily see myself as a leader in undergrad, but as clubs and organizations, and then as a mentor, took shape, I began to see myself as a leader, which has really allowed me to express myself in a variety of different ways. I would love for you to talk a little bit, however, about your background. And I want to appreciate for a moment, or a couple of moments, that you are in Nigeria. And so you have a very different, I guess, perspective from the base of our listeners. And so I want you to talk a little bit about that.
Okay, so I actually started school at a very young age, and I got introduced into programming when I was just 9 years. I started writing codes from scratch, and there was YouTube. There were lots of resources I felt like there was available, and I participated in lots of competitions, represented Nigeria. Just wanted to do stuff. Just wanted to make my parents proud actually, because I noticed anytime I was doing all of these things, they were always happy. Oh, Samuel, we love what you're doing. Keep on doing these great things and stuff. Then apart from that, I felt like I was really, really, really doing so much for my school, in the sense that I could sort of organize things. I could actually study. I could actually read this thing, and I could compete with other schools, and show them that yeah, we actually have talent in my school, and just to sort of engage people, just trying to be a better version of myself. I see a lot of people out there. I read a lot of books actually, because I did a lot of research, and I see a lot of people out there, and they actually inspire me. I'm like, oh, I can be like this person. There's nothing limiting me. There's no sort of limitations for me being the best in the world. I see the youngest professors, just 11, teaching at Harvard, doing stuff. So I'm like, I can be like this person. I can do this. What I can be that person. So, and ever since I was small, I said to myself, yeah, Samuel, you must be great. There's nothing going to stop you. Like this, you have no for an answer. You must always be the best at whatever you're doing. So that has always been my drive. And ever since then, I said, oh man, I must be into STEM, because tech is really gonna revolutionize the whole space in across the world. Everyone's talking about AI, robotics, and there's so many limited people contributing, and you can see that there's a lot of impact AI is making on the global space. And I look forward to representing Africa and trying to drive that change across in Africa, and trying to show the world out there that we have talent and we have brilliant people in Nigeria and also in Africa. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I reflect fondly. So I went to Yale for a year to get my master's in public health, and some of the cohorts there were medical physicians that were trained in Nigeria and Africa, and they were honestly some of the smartest but kindest people. And there were a whole bunch of, I mean, my entire cohort were just amazing in general. But I just reflect fondly on them. And what they wanted to do is they wanted to harness sort of the basic premise and knowledge of understanding how healthcare works, not only from a policy, administration, biostatistical level, epidemiological level, but then take that back home with them and translate that. So it's almost at a scale that you are talking to, which I completely, totally appreciate. And
Thank you.
yeah, absolutely. So I want you to talk a little bit about, because you obviously do a lot of research, you do a lot of analysis. You are, Living Green Club, Ridebuddy, global ambassador of Thierworld. Like, I want to understand a little bit more about what drives you and what those initiatives are.
All right. So I feel like there's a lot of an inequality and a lot of lack of access to quality education, especially in Africa. So we don't really have good education, but the good ones are very expensive. And that's why I wanted to be an advocate for quality education. Education should be made available to everyone, because if without a good education, I wouldn't be talking here, without going to school or without interacting with, good professors out there. Shout out to all the mentors and professors I've worked with. Yeah, they have really, really inspired me to be, you know, and I look forward to also doing my PhD soon. Yeah, so so that's why I wanted to be an ambassador. So I do projects with Thierworld. It's actually a charity organization that's just provides you know just provides support for people that want to promote awareness, driving change across the educational space, trying to provide funds. There are a lot of people out there that don't really have access to good schools. They don't really have the opportunity to go to school. So what I'm trying to do, I'm try to create opportunities for them, trying to connect them with the right stakeholders, try to connect them with the NGOs, try to raise funds for them to attend schools. And I'm looking forward to doing some amazing stuff across, so we could create exchange programs for students in Nigeria and students across, so they could go to the universities abroad to study, and also for students across to come and also share their experience in Nigeria as well. So that's what I'm doing with Thierworld. Then Ridebuddy is actually one of my startups. So through, because I love entrepreneurship, I noticed there was a market gap. So, and that was drivers and customers trying to connect riders and customers at an affordable price. I noticed that a lot of drivers out there, people that want to use their car to make some business, couldn't get good customers because of the price scarcity and the fuel scarcity. So, the global inflation really affected so many things. So I noticed there was going to be a market gap. So I tried to create a platform for drivers and customers to interact and sort of bargain prices, and for people to also commute, so interact together. For example, you can also share your professional experience. For example, if I'm going to let's say a place, and I'm looking for maybe a technical professional or graphic designer, I could pick up somebody on the way and pick up like, 4 people. And from there, I build my company, or I build the products from there. So just trying to connect people together and trying to provide opportunities for the drivers and, for customers also in Africa. So we're actually going to be launching in the UK. We're about to launch in Nigeria. So once this works, we'll go to the UK and launch. And we hope to sort of disrupt the market for Uber and Bolt. So I noticed that Uber is also trying to introduce this business model, but hopefully we intend to disrupt the market, and I pray God help us. So back to my degree. So I chose mechanical engineering because engineering sort of gives me the building blocks to problem solving, and I'm really, really grateful for the course, because without this, I wouldn't gather enough skills to, do what I'm doing currently. So, and that has given me the experience to be able to do things like AI and robotics. With the designs, I can now simulate designs. I can draft out models. I can work in teams, and it's really, really been an amazing experience. And I look forward to doing more stuff in the future.
That's so exciting. And thank you for, I think, pulling in the piece around mechanical engineering. That was my favorite part of, I think, mechanical engineering was the building pieces, right? I just love tinkering, and I love putting things together that made sense, and or putting things together that then broke and then you had to fix them. You learn either way, right?
Yeah.
And market disruptor. Let me just call that out for the audience. That is huge. And that's how you scale, and that's how you innovate, is you disrupt markets and what everyone has thought to be mainstays or table stakes within the market. You disrupt that, and then you innovate with it. And it's so exciting to be, I think, a part of that. And that's the allure for me in my day-to-day job in health tech. You talk about your knack for research, analysis, and strategic planning, which is kind of, it's an interesting piece, because research for me, I think about curiosity. Analysis, I think about being anal retentive, about doing mathematics, equations, making sure everything is tied up very tightly. And then strategic planning is very forecasting. It's looking into the future of what is the art of the possible. And so those things are intertwined, but then also very separate. And I was wondering if you could just elaborate on how you harness them and how you express that knack that you said.
All right, so for my research, I actually work with professors even across the globe to do research, and I'm really good at trying to look for areas. So I do like a good literature review. We're looking at the areas where we don't have people talking about, and we're trying to like find how to develop, concept papers. And for example, I'm working on a paper that will be presented in Abu Dhabi. So it's going to be a robotics conference. So it's actually talking about the AI bias. So we don't really talk about AI in Africa, and they are not available data sets or case studies. So my research ability gives me the ability to like do extensive research. So you can read tons of paper, but with AI, there are actually softwares like SciSpace, and that you can actually use to go through papers, go from read them from scratch, and check the references, go in depth and provide recommendations, and look at the aim, look at the abstract. So that research skill has really been good, and it sort of links to my ability to plan as well. So without data, without information, I can't plan. So and I'm really good with project management, and I noticed for you to be able to handle teams, for you to be able to like drive people, you need to be able to handle projects. So how now do I manage projects? So I took it upon myself to actually go and learn how to manage projects. So I had to learn the different methodologies. So do we have the agile approach, and so I actually looked at the softwares I could use to handle projects, so I could keep track, try to see that everybody works at the right time, and they ensure they deliver their tasks. So and project management has been really, really good because I take on key leadership roles, and I have been able to learn. There's actually YouTube, there's Udemy, and all of that. But I took it upon myself to look for people in the industry that are doing well. So I have a mentor. Shout out to Fisayo Adeyemi. So he's currently in Canada. He's studying. He's doing a clean leadership program at UBC. So he had a course in product school. So I actually went to meet him and shared some resources with me, and I did some extensive research on how to, handle projects, how to sort of handle teams, and all of that. So, and it has really, really helped me. Then, sorry, I missed one more thing. There was one.
Strategic planning.
Okay, so planning. So planning is very important. I notice a lot of us just do things without planning. So I actually, reflect a lot. So when I do stuff, I try to sort of think back and try to see that I all my plans align. And that's why it's good to schedule. That's why we wouldn't be having this meeting if there wasn't a schedule, for example. It's good to be strategic about things, and it enables you to forecast as well. So for example, when working with the data analytics guys, so I give them like maybe they say we're looking at the revenue projection. So with that projection we plan, and that enables us to make decisions. It enables us to dominate the space. So planning is very, very important in whatever you're doing. It enables you to keep track of things, and it enables you to work together more effectively, and with reflection. And when you jot down your plan, when you have a calendar, you tend to be more effective. You don't miss track of things. And being a student in Nigeria, you need to plan because you need to attend classes. So you need to ensure that you have everything well detailed, and you'll be good.
Yeah, that's strategic planning, I think, is one of those things that no matter what major you are, it's not necessarily something that is taught, that is an educational pathway, if you will, or a class. It's something that's a learned skill. You can talk about time management. That's sort of part of strategic planning that you were talking about.
Yeah, and also setting goals and achieving them. Trying to like allocating time, and making sure you set your goals, and making sure that the goal is smart, is specific, measurable, achievable within a time bound. Yeah.
Correct. SMART goals. Yes, I love it. I love it. Yeah. I totally appreciate that answer as well. I want to go back to, I think, the middle piece sort of what you were alluding to with respect to analysis or research. You talked about mentoring, and it's interesting because you talk to it about having a mentor that is there to advise you. And then there's also the mentor that then you provide, and the mentorship that you provide to others. And so I was hoping that you kind of talk a little bit about both.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. I will. I will. So I'm actually growing a community called the World Changers. So the World Changers community is the community I thought about and I wanted to, grow. And I'm actually into different communities as well. So I lead different programs, but what the World Changers community is something I'm trying to do, something I'm trying to, create across Africa and maybe even across the globe because I participated in the Aspirers Leaders program and I'm into different network, of mentors. So, and I really want to create a platform where students can learn, where they can also learn about opportunities and they can also be groomed with the skills to thrive in the industry and so also to be somebody like me also as well. So I really want to see my community grow. I want to see the next Samuel. I want to see the next big maybe Mark Zuckerberg, the next Bill Gates coming from Africa is not stopping us, and I believe that there's a lot of potential because now if you look at the division rates now, we see that there are lots of young people coming from Africa. So and that's what everyone is shocked now. Like a lot of people coming, a lot of young guys coming doing crazy stuff in Africa, and Africa has the most number of startups you know, across the globe. And I'm trying to create a platform, but the problem we have in Africa is we have limited access to opportunities, and that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to see how to engage people within my network to see how they can sort of help, the youths to get access to these opportunities and for them to grow and be somebody better than me. Yeah, and before I became a good person, or before I was able to attain all these feats, I was really, really under so many developmental, should I say, programs, and I look forward to a lot of people. So I spoke to a lot of guys. I sent them a message via LinkedIn. I was really, really, intentional about developing myself, and I was like, "Oh, Can you teach me this? I would like to learn this. Can you help me?" And they were really, really responsive because I showed that dedication, and I was able to track my growth as well. So, and the impact was felt, and I was able to meet some of them. So even some of them, flew me over to meet them, and I got to speak to some key industry leaders as well in the process. And this has really, really helped me. And with this, I got with mentoring, I was able to, speak to key stakeholders in my country. I was able to meet the government, engage with policy advisors. And I was with this, I've been able to work on projects, across the globe. I've worked on projects in Canada, in the US currently, and I look forward to doing more amazing stuff in the future.
Well, of course. I mean, that's partially why you're on this podcast, frankly, is because you are one of the best.
Thank
Um,
you.
no, but I think you also mentioned, you said, mentoring the next generation of someone better than me, which is it's really powerful to hear someone say that, right? And I think the other thing that I really love to talk about, particularly on this podcast, is for the younger generations to take chances, outreach to those individuals. The
Yeah.
worst case scenario is that they say no. And you know what?
Yeah.
That's okay.
There's nothing bad we know because, for example, a lot of people say, I want you to mentor me, but they end up not looking for a reason. Like, when you reach out to somebody for mentorship, there has to be a reason and there has to be a desire to be like that person. There has to be at least some little dedication, interest, a passion. For example, I've actually reached out to key stakeholders in industry because I had this crazy dream. I really wanted to work with NASA, and I said, "Oh, let me send the director a message and let's see what happens." And she responded, and that was really, really big for me. And I told my friends, and they were like, "Really?" And that's how it works. You just take the shot. You don't know where it's gonna lead you, and just be focused. Develop a good branding and be amazing at what you're doing.
So, as you all are noticing, Samuel is again in Nigeria, and we is just like all of us is required by Wi-Fi, and so we're going to speak the rest of the episode with him via audio. But we just have a couple of more things to talk through. So Samuel, I wanted to talk a little bit about your current groundbreaking project. So you're in your bio, you identified the smart irrigation system for farming and the agrobot. So give us a little bit of more information about that and sort of what is the impetus, what are you seeing, and what is the direction of the research?
All right, so I noticed that robotics and AI has just been more of when you talk robotics, a lot of people just think it's probably something humanoid. It's just something that probably just help people do basic stuff. Yeah, but I feel like robotics should be applied in agriculture because of the food insecurity challenges. That has been a major issue across the globe, and that's why I felt like agriculture should be fun. And how could it be fun by trying to assist farmers and trying to create solutions that would enable them to be more effective and be more productive as well. So my innovation is just trying to create a simple robot that could enable farmers to farm and also produce their crops and grow things on their farm more easily. So what we're trying to do, we're trying to create a smart irrigation system. So like it means you can actually do farming from the comfort of your home. You don't have to go visit your farm every day. You could just monitor everything with the cameras, with the sensors, the soil monitoring sensors we're going to be integrating. And I look forward to sharing some videos with you soon, so you could sort of share a lot as well with the community. So what we're trying to do, we're trying to create a robot that sort of goes around the farmland, checks for weeds. So instead of you spending so much money on chemicals that actually affects the plants and the crops, so why don't you use a robot that's with the aid of computer vision and AI that can help you detect the weeds. So before the weeds grow, the robot destroys the weeds. And this actually took so much time to do. I had to do a lot of research and trying to detect what kind of weed, a lot of study, a lot of classification, and it was actually complex. But with the internet, and with access to resources and with support from the friends and researchers across, I was able to do something. And I feel like we all need to invest so much in agriculture because without food, how are we going to live? Yeah, and we all rely on food. Everybody eats to live. So and we all need to create solutions for farming so that people can farm. And this farming also like agriculture like adds to the entire GDP. It adds to the revenue of the country and the globe, and so trying to create solutions that assist farmers, so farmers don't have to come to the farm all the time. So with robotics and what I'm developing now, I believe we can actually have increased crop productivity, and we have reduced costs. So it means you don't have to hire more, people to monitor your farm. So you just have to be at the comfort of your home, open your phone and check. Oh, what's the weather like? What's the relative humidity? With the aid of sensors integrated and with the aid of cameras as well, you can check the security. You can check what's going on around in your farm, and with this, we can increase productivity. You can increase the rate of production of food across, and there will be reduction in food security. Now, people now have access to food, LD quality food that's also be tampered with chemicals like the herbicides and pesticides. So, and I believe this would really solve a lot of problems. And this is also in line with the SDGs, so access to quality water, because all of these chemicals we use on our farmlands, they leave the farm and they go damage our water, and we end up drinking this water, and we don't know we're drinking chemical, and that's why people complain of cancer and some other health diseases. So with this solution, I believe it could really, really change the landscape of agriculture across the globe. Yeah.
Well, what I totally appreciate also about the project is, so you have a degree in mechanical engineering, but you're bringing
Yeah.
it to an application, right, with it, which is agriculture, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, however, is when you were listing off all the things that you need to sort of assess when you're in agriculture, you need to master basic principles of chemistry,
Yeah.
biology, looking at
Yeah.
microorganisms.
Yeah.
So talk to me about STEM, and it's not necessarily your academic route, but it's more of like how you approach curiosity and research.
All right. So for me, curiosity is everything. Curiosity drives us, and I was introduced to chemistry, biology, physics, and I all of these things are actually applied in everything I'm doing. And I was introduced very well, and I was very, very happy. I got to know about biology because I loved biology. I really, really loved chemistry, the symbols, organic chemistry, and the sciences of physics. So, and I was able to, use principles because all of these things sort of, you know, enables you to access all of this technology because all of these things are now applied in engineering. For example, we don't in school we just take the first in our first year we just do like the introductory to physics and some little just to refresh us from what we've done in high school. But like I've been able to apply key principles and key knowledge, and with STEM is very, very vast, and you can have engineers, scientists, researchers across, and we all work together. For example, I work with chemists, I work with microbiologists, I work with biotechnologists, and we work together and try to see how to create solutions. So and with somebody with an engineering background, so I'm more the technical. So for them, they look at the science of things, but me, I look at the engineering of things. Can this actually work? But they do the more of like research. They look at the molecules, atoms, and all of these things are the building blocks. And it's so interesting to find out that all of these things are intertwined together, and we all need to understand this, these things together. And STEM has been the best thing that's ever happened to me because I wouldn't be without STEM, So, and a lot of people should be introduced to STEM at a very, very young age so they can find a passion and try to be somebody better than me. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Well, I think we're nearing the end of our time. And I do want to, however, ask you the question that we almost always ask all of our guests.
Yeah.
And it's, reflecting back on yourself 10 years ago, a decade ago, what pieces of wisdom that you haven't already said throughout the podcast, which there are many, would you impart on sort of the young potential STEM contributors that are going to be the next generation of STEM personas?
All right. So I would say that you should, to anyone listening, be hardworking. That's what I have to say. Be hardworking and develop quality relationships. Because when you develop relationships, you tend to learn and be teachable. Like have the ability to learn from people and the ability to be humble and listen and try to assess people and always feel free to reach out to people when you're challenged, when you don't know something. Don't keep it to yourself. Reach out to people and you get the problem solved. So remember, I used to be very, very bad at maths. Yeah, just let me just chip this in. And I was really, really poor. And went to meet one of my friends and I told him, oh, Tamilore, I don't really know maths. And he was like, oh, Samuel, we can look at it together. And if I didn't reach out to him, I wouldn't be very good in maths now. So I believe we should all try to, be teachable and always reach out to people when we don't know something. Don't keep it to yourself. Don't be silent about it. Just try to reach out and be confident. Confidence really helps you, drive innovation and change, and it also helps you drive your passion as well. So be confident, be bold. That nobody stop you. Nobody can stop you. You're a star. That's gonna shine. So there should be that confidence and be bold and be happy to do stuff and work with people, work effectively, and and you'll be a star.
I love that. I love all aspects of that. My goodness. Gosh, that touched me. Well, Samuel, thank you so much for your time. And I know it's really late for you. But I am just thrilled that you joined us. You are going to make it big. You are going to be the next Elon Musk.
Yeah.
All that and everything. So again, I have nothing but deep appreciation for you joining us today, and really just keep on being awesome, for lack of a better word.
Thank you very much, Karen. It was nice doing this with you, and I look forward to being Elon Musk too.
Yeah, heck yeah. You're going to hire me on.
It actually inspires me a lot, and I watch his videos. I just try to see what's doing, what he's doing in the space industry and the kind of work he's doing in every space. He dominates. It's very confident and bold, and
Yeah.
I love what he's doing in America. So, and I look forward to doing the same thing in Africa and trying to see how we can put Africa on the map as well. So, and thank you very much, Karina. It was really great to have you. Yeah.
At STEM From, we are working towards making all STEM careers achievable, regardless of your identity, background, or even access to resources. Here at STEM From, we will introduce you to all things STEM, whether they be careers, research, tips and tricks, and even inspiration. Thanks all for watching and learning with us today. And don't ever forget to ask yourselves, where do you want your journeys to stem from? Bye, everyone.